Former Nintendo PR managers say that this isn't Ubisoft, say the company's mantra of respect the value holds. So, this is a funny article to read right here that I've seen because of the fact that I have my feelings with Ubisoft. I feel like, honestly, at this point, they're a piece of shit company. They don't care about the fans. They try to push their own ideologies and, their ideas that just fans and gamers do not like. And it's bitten them in the ass. You look at their stocks, you look at the games that they've been coming out with that have all been trash lately, and it really shows that the value of their company has just fallen off completely. And the fact that former Nintendo PR managers are making statements like this just cracks me up, dude. I think this is hilarious because it's one of those things that you think that they try to at least kind of keep things civil and just be like, no, well, we want to keep things kind of the way we have it because we have valuable products. But they're over here like, nah, Ubisoft is trash and they ain't nothing compared to us. You know what I mean? So that's just hilarious to me. So we'll go ahead and get into this and see what we got here. So former Nintendo of America marketing leads Kit Ellis and Krista Yang have talked about the price point of Nintendo's Switch 2 games, which will see an expected price jump compared to the Nintendo Switch games. The pricing, according to Ellis, reflects the Kyoto based company's long running mantra that the pricing reflects the quality of the games. While pricing increases on software were expected by many, the jump in price is certainly higher than the majority expected, with Mario Kart Worlds costing 75 euros and slash $80. Here's what he said. Nintendo products have immense value. We must always respect that immense value, Ellis says. This is why these things don't go on sale. The value is the value, and we are seriously into that concept of respect the value of what this thing is that we have made because it's very special. This isn't Ubisoft, he joked. And it's like, God damn. It's like friendly fire. So it's just one of those things like the fact that even other companies, or at least former employees of companies, are shitting on Ubisoft is that's just hilarious, man. At this point, it's like the Ubisoft's become like the little smelly kid on the playground that like no one wants to play with kind of a thing. So, seeing that this is kind of getting heat their way, it's really sad, man, because of the fact that Ubisoft used to be such a great company. They have so many great IPs under their belt. And the fact that they're kind of becoming the punching bag to kind of be joked around about in the gaming world, it's unfortunate, man. I mean, it's unfortunate for them as a gamer and a fan of the IPs that they have, and seeing that the direction that they've been going in. I'm like, fuck them. You know what I mean? I'm like, who cares at this point? Y'all can be the punching bag for all I give a damn. But the fact that even other corporations, our employees, are kind of making comments like this, it's like y'all suck. You know what I mean? You guys are trash at this point. So it's just unfortunate for them, but it's funny for me, and I'm sure many other people out there that are just tired of Ubisoft. So, as a Nintendo customer fan, Yang agreed, you're kind of conditioned to, if you want to buy this, I might as well buy this now because it's not going to go on sale. And that's one of the things when it comes down to like Nintendo games and everything like that, was that they don't go on sale very often. So that was one of the things that I kind of capitalized on this past March 10th, so Mario Day, where I was able to actually get Luigi's Mansion on sale. Now, I've mentioned it in some videos before. I've wanted to get Luigi's Mansion 2 for a while now, but I just didn't feel like the price was justified for a game that's been as old as it has been, as well as the fact that it was originally I believe a 3DS game. So anytime I would go to like Walmart or something and I would see it in the gaming aisle, I would always kind of look at it, but just kind of skim by it because of the fact that I would see that $60 sale price, and I'd be like, it's just not justifiable in my opinion. So when March 10th came around, I kind of just checked out some of the sales that were going on and everything like that, and I was able to see that Luigi's Mansion 2 did go on sale for I believe $40. So when I noticed that, I scooped it up, man. I was like, hell yeah, I'm gonna get this game for sure now that I see that. So that, I mean, it does happen very rarely, but they, for the most part, Nintendo games don't go on sale. So it is one of those things, if you do see it on sale, you got to kind of have to capitalize it on when you can. But at the same time, I guess I can kind of understand where they're coming from in the sense that they kind of respect the value of the games that they're making. Personally, I believe that after a while, after so long, a game shouldn't stay the original price that it is, because of the fact that when you're paying for the full price, a lot of the times it's at the beginning, because of the fact that there's no information about the game. You don't know what it's going to be like to play it and everything like that. But once it's been out for so many years, after a while, you kind of get an understanding of it. You might see some of the spoilers behind it, so it won't really mean as much. But at the same time, this is Nintendo. They like to keep things to themselves on how they go about this type of stuff. And if they do want to kind of keep the price at that level, majority of the time you got to give it to them, because they do end up coming out with games that are worth it for the most part. They do kind of have these games that they come out complete. They are fun to play, and they are something that you get an experience with Nintendo games, which is something that makes Nintendo what it is. So, though Yang did offer something of a vague counterpoint to the company's rigid price structure, saying, well, how much are you taking this concept of how much your stuff is worth? It's a Nintendo tax, agreed Ellis, arguing for Nintendo's perspective that what we made was $60. A lot of those other games that were 60 are junk. They don't have the level of Nintendo's quality or polish or attention, so we need to distinguish how premium this thing is through the pricing, and you will come to understand that. And again, that kind of goes back to what I just stated, that yeah, it is one of those situations when you do get a Nintendo game, like I said, it is an experience. You can definitely a lot of the time see the quality in it, the polishing that it's stating here, as well as the attention, so the love that they give into these games, because that's what it feels like. It feels like Nintendo actually cares about their games, and they really do want to bring out a product that will be something that can kind of live up to their company's perspectives, as well as the fact that it can live up to fans' perspectives as well. And one of the best examples of that would be Metroid Prime 4, because of the fact that it was one of those things where Metroid Prime 4 was supposed to come out, I believe, like a year or two ago, but Nintendo decided to hold off on that because they felt that the game wasn't quite where they wanted it to be. They felt like it had potential to be a better game, and it wasn't quite at the quality that they wanted to, up to Nintendo standards. So they decided to hold off on it, which a lot of fans were a bit bummed out about, because they wanted to kind of get a Metroid Prime 4. But many gamers have the understanding that if it's not quite living up to expectations for the company, especially a company like Nintendo, they're willing to wait that extra time to get the game when it is what they considered finished. Because with so many games, especially from like Sony and Microsoft, they're willing to dish out a game at $60, $70, and you end up playing it. It's a bugging mess. It's not finished. It feels like they rushed it, and it shows in the work, And a lot of gamers have noticed that, especially in recent years, and they're just tired of it. So when Nintendo comes out and makes these kind of statements, in a sense, I can definitely understand where they're coming from, because you're not just paying for the game itself, you are paying for that quality of the game that Nintendo is willing to put in. So yeah, man, it's understandable where they're coming from, but at the same time, like they stated they're not Ubisoft. So that's just hilarious to me, because you got to keep in mind all the games that Ubisoft has been coming out with lately that they're trying to sell at full price that have just been trash. When you think of like Star Wars Outlaws, Assassin's Creed Shadows, which they said they have a high player base at the in this release, but they haven't mentioned anything on sales, which isn't good. Skull and Bones, which I heard was trash. And then what was the other one? There was another one I can't remember off the top of my head that came out recently that was already pretty much on sale. So that just goes to show that when you don't really put in the love, the care, the work to kind of make something that players would love and enjoy, you kind of get screwed over in the end because of it. And that was a clear example. And from what we can see here, Nintendo knows that, and they're willing to know what they have, which is really understandable in my opinion. So some pretty good news, some pretty funny stuff to hear them shitting on Ubisoft, because of the fact that honestly Ubisoft has been trash for so long at this point that even Nintendo sees it, which is hilarious. So those are my thoughts on that. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section. Do you guys believe, as like I do, that with Nintendo they do come out with quality products that is kind of understandable why they were why they would hold the price as they do for so long? So if you guys can let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. If you guys could like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. If you guys have been watching this long, I really appreciate it. It means a lot. And yeah, until next time. Harmonic out. Peace.